thank you so much for joining us and being on this wonderful broadcast. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So now your story is really powerful. You've come from someone who has never really done this before, but you had a yearning to really make more of a difference and really contribute in not just in your own life, but which is wonderful. You wanted to make things better for your own life, but you wanted to make things better for the community and people around you. Now you have a full-time coaching business. I'm interviewing you from home. You're doing what you love, and congratulations on what you've achieved. Tell us a little bit about how this all began. Where did you start? Where did it all begin?
Well, I was a teacher and I was in a stable, well-paid job. And I've always had a passion for health and well-being. And particularly I'd become interested in the area of anxiety because I realized that I have had anxiety for my whole life and I couldn't put a name to it. And I used to think there was something wrong with me. And I became more and more aware of it over recent years. And I was witnessing kids experiencing anxiety over and over. And I was watching them go through the health system and get help in different ways. But in my opinion, they weren't getting the right help, and they were, how can I put it? They were coming back from returning to school still with the same problem. So that was frustrating me. So I was a little bit frustrated with that. But not only that, I also had a desire, probably for the last 5 or 6 years in my job, every now and again, probably every 6 months, I'd think, what else could I do? There must be something else for me. I don't want to just die having just done this, even though I was good at it and I did really love teaching. But there were some aspects of my job that I didn't like. There was some negative energy around that, and I wasn't enjoying that as much as I used to. And I used to return after school holidays not really wanting to go back, and I knew that was a sign that there was something missing. So I played with that and I toyed with it and I just didn't know what it was. And
so can I just ask you, how did you go, even just having that idea? I know that a lot of people, especially in Australia, there's tall poppy syndrome. And when you already have a good job, you're in a secure job, you're good at it, and then you are yearning for more. There's a lot of people in our culture that shame people for that. It's like, why are you looking for more? Why are you trying to seek out more education when you already have something good? Did you experience anything like that, or?
I did, but I kept it to myself. I really kept it to myself, Matt. I didn't tell people, apart from my very, very close people. And there was a bit of fear and there was a bit of guilt around it. So there was a bit of guilt that why would I throw away my opportunity or my great job, my position, and why wouldn't I just be grateful? And I was grateful. But there was a bit of guilt around that. But there was also fear of giving that up and taking a risk and doing something different. And would I get the security and the certainty that I like to have? Yeah. And also, being someone who experiences anxiety, taking a risk is a bit scary. And so for me, I had quite a lot of mixed emotions around it, but I kept having this curiosity there. It was this burning curiosity. And yeah, when I discovered TCI through just a random happening, a random circumstance by my husband being asked to this event, and he asked if I wanted to come along after he'd been to the first session, and he thought it was amazing. And he said, "This is just right up your alley. I think you're going to love this." So I thought, oh, okay, I'll go along. It sounds really awesome. And within an hour, Joe Parnay just had me eating out of his hands. And I was just loving it because I just felt like, oh my God, this is it. This is what it is. This is my values match. This is me. This is what I've been wanting. He's speaking my language. That's what I loved. Yeah. So it talked to me, it spoke to me, and I just thought, oh, and so I was buzzing.
It's wonderful. So it must have been really validating to find an organization, to find a community of people that are doing the thing or helping people do the things that you've been thinking about for so long.
Yeah.
And I love that you shared that, you know, you had doubt and you had fear and you were unsure if you would be able to create for example, the financial certainty that your previous job had. Because I imagine a lot of people watching today will be thinking the same thing. A lot of people will be in a similar position where they'll be thinking, I've got this burning curiosity. I really like the language that you use, like a burning curiosity to be able to do more. And what if, did you ever think to yourself, I don't want to get to the end of my life without exploring that? Was that an idea or a thought that you had that helped you?
Totally. I reckon that was the most regular thing that came into my mind. I don't want to die knowing that I could have done something else, or I don't want to die with any regrets. And I had, but to be honest, I'd been really prompted. You've triggered a memory for me. I had actually been to, unfortunately, three student funerals, and that was very distressing, but also it was a reminder to me, I can't let this just lie. I can't let this just simmer when I know I can make a difference and when I know I can do something else. And so there was that, but there was also my own, I suppose my own, I used to imagine myself, if I died, what people would say in my eulogy. And I wanted more than what I was doing now. And it might sound, you know, that guilt would come up, that it might sound greedy or, you know, that I want more. But reality was that I didn't want to die having not done the things that I wanted to do and that make the difference I wanted to make for people. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's a really powerful message. And I think it's something that we should all be thinking about. It's definitely something that I think about, is the power of, am I on track? Am I moving towards a life that I will look back at and be proud of? Or am I doing what a lot of people do, which is, I think, just in a way, throw a blanket over that and not really think about it and say, oh, I'll deal with it later. And, oh, it doesn't matter that much. But the reality is that we all will get to the end of our life at some point, and we will be faced with the opportunity to reflect and say, did I give it my all? And that idea, that curiosity that I had, or that whisper inside me, did I bring it to life? And good on you, and congratulations on you saying yes to yourself. Because what I'd love to get you to share about now is, as a result of your education, what are you doing? Because I know that you're doing a lot of wonderful things in your business. You're succeeding so much, and you keep on succeeding more and more. Actually, before you tell me about that, what was it like just to start your education? Like your foundations training with us, getting in the course, what was the beginning like? And then if you can, share with everyone what you're up to now, what your day is like, what you're loving.
Perfect. So as soon as I got into it, I became a learning machine, a TCI learning machine. Honestly, I was working a very, very long hours in the job I was doing anyway. And I was doing this. And you know what? I just found more energy. I don't know where the energy came from, but it was motivational energy. I was just supercharged. So for 6 months solid, I learned so much from TCI, just solid. I mean, I'm still learning and still doing it all the time, but that was a massive, massive burst of motivational learning energy. I was just like on supercharged. And during that whole time, I wasn't just learning content, I was learning about how to set up a coaching business. I was really preparing myself to leave my job. I'd got into the mindset that I needed to prepare myself to leave my job and start up a business. So I was working full time. I was learning content, and I was fortunate that I was able to apply it a little bit in my job with kids. So I was testing them out. It was awesome. And then I was setting myself up for a business. So I was listening to all the business information as well and the business advice from TCI. And I was doing the triads and pro bonos because I wanted to be well prepared. And I just made up my mind that in 6 months, I was going to leave my job. I set myself a target and I did that. And I started up a business and I joined a BNI. And within a few weeks, within the first week of being in my BNI, I got a paying client. I had about 3 paying clients in the first week in the end. And then it just took off. It found legs, Matt. I don't know what was I didn't know what was going on. And I was just running a little bit faster than my business was. And to be honest, it's still the same. I'm just ahead of where my business is at, just. And I keep pushing. And I've learned something about anxiety, and that is that you've got to push yourself outside your comfort zone. And oh my God, it opens up opportunities when you do. And so that's what I keep doing. Every single day, I'm pushing myself. And doing this is a massive thing for me. As you know, I've had a lot of public speaking issues. I've had nerves around that, a lot of stuff. But I was more excited to do this today than anxious. So it's switching. And so I couldn't wait to share this with people. Whereas before I was thinking about me feeling nervous. So that's shifted. So that's enabled me to be able to build a business and face so many of my fears and follow my passion at the same time.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you. It's exciting.
It's really wonderful. And I love that you would have not wanted to have done this at some point. And because it's the real like evidence of how far you've come. This is now something you're excited to do. And if you think about it, hundreds of people are watching this right now. And there are people that are like you when you first began. And not only have you achieved your own goals and you have so far to go, which is exciting, and you've got more to grow into, but at the same time, now you're actually inspiring all these other brand new coaches that are on their wonderful journey of becoming successful coaches as well. It's fantastic. And
the wonderful thing for me is there's some big realizations that are kicking in now, because I'm coaching and I'm making an income and I'm making a living off this. I'm not great with numbers, but I added up and I'm already making at least the same amount of money as I was in a leading role in the school system. And that's just mind-blowing to me already, because I really have only been practicing my business for 12 months. And yeah, so I added that up the other day and I just thought, whoa, this is fantastic. And I've got so much further to go. And I'm doing personal coaching. I've got my anxiety program for parents, which has been my passion, my absolute passion. And so I've got an online program with parents in it, and we're doing it together. And I'm the leader of it, which is like, whoa, what's
so
going
awesome
on here? And then I'm coaching a business as well, which people skills and helping them with their culture, their work culture and values. And it's just, yeah, incredible. And they've just signed me up for another 6 months. So that's really awesome. So there's so much going on, and in every area, it's pushing me, it's pushing my boundaries, but the growth is incredible and it's exciting, and yeah, helping other people, which is what I wanted to do.
I'm just so over the moon for you. What you've achieved is you're a star student here at the Coaching Institute. And I just love that your success now inspires other people. I think that's just absolutely fantastic. You're doing what you love.
Yeah.
You know, you've said yes to that whisper inside.
Yeah.
And now you are not going to die with regrets. That's a freaking epic feeling, is that you're fulfilling your potential.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's watching this and they are considering becoming a coach? They're considering joining our amazing community like you've done and starting their journey as a master coach. What would you say?
I would say, don't sit and wait for things to happen or change, because they're not going to unless you make a decision and commit. And if you're wondering, there's a reason for that. And that's because you know this is something that you want. So I reckon go for it. Just do it. Just get into it and do it. Make it happen.
Thank you so much, Sue. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here with us. You're wonderful. And just congratulations in so many ways.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate your support. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.